And then the most recent one that I wanted to talk about was this past weekend's race event, the Aero Grand Prix 5000, which was an endurance race as well, right?
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
lot of
Tell us,
fun.
tell us about that because Mr. Bapu here, you got first place in that one, man. That's awesome. Congrats
Yes,
on that.
thank you, thank you. It was a great win, and I needed one. It had been a while since I won. The last one I think was in January, and the competition is growing tremendously.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to AGP Aerial Grand Prix. I don't know why they call it 5,000, but the route they're taking is endurance racing. Uh, it seems like that's going to be their specialty. They're not going to be doing individual racing like multi GP races or XDC or Drone Nationals or what have you. It's going to be endurance racing. So the race in the Velodrome, the AGP event, which was this Sunday, was a 20 lap race across. It looked like an 800-meter athletic track,
Yeah.
track field track, but it was
Wasn't it
was on an incline.
a bicycle
Bicycle
oval
course,
sort of?
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
It
it's like
is, and that's
a banked
it's
the whole course is banked, right? It's on a
it's
like
all
an angle.
banked at like
Right.
I would say like a 40-degree bank. It's very steep. It's hard to climb up there because it's like smooth concrete.
Right.
A great
It almost looked like a an oversized roller derby course, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And so they created this. Um, it's just an oval, like a NASCAR oval. There's a few
Yeah.
obstacles. There was one chicane, and you had to go over a tunnel right after the chicane, which was the trickiest part there. But the challenge was to finish 20 laps. And the pilots were averaging between 14 and 15 seconds per lap on that thing. So 20 laps. So the interesting part of that is you can use a pit if you have to, or you can come up with a setup that can last 20 laps.
Right.
So it was all about strategizing, and it was very interesting going into the race. And knowing me, like we talked about it before the show. I'm so busy lately. I don't have time to build a purpose-built quad to a race or an event. So, and most people know I love high kV motors.
Yeah.
Right now I'm running the 2650 Rebels and 2206, 2650 Rebel motors. Rebel is one of my sponsors, of course. So high kV on 5040, not known for efficiency at all. And I know a lot of my friends were building 6-inch quads,
Yeah.
low kV, very efficient quads because they wanted to capture all 20 laps without having to pit because pit
Oh,
can
come on.
ruin
That's
everything.
but even at 15 seconds, that's what I was doing a minute ago. I wasn't trying to be rude. I wasn't texting or anything. I was looking at my phone to do, excuse me, to do the math on 15-second laps at 20 laps, and that's 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
So you guys had to at least do one pit stop, right?
No.
You
There was
ran
no limits for pit stop. There was limits for the battery size to be used,
no.
which was 22 amps, 2200 milliamps. And there was a quad size limit, which was 300 mm. The quad cannot be a freaking 1000 mm quad running 5000 milliamp batteries that can fly for half an hour. So those are limitations. So pit was not mandatory.
No. I
So
wasn't saying it was mandatory. I was saying to run for 5 minutes straight, you're going to need to pit once. Did you not?
If you use a 2200 battery, which was the limit for this event, on say a 1960 kV motor with 6-inch 6040 props, you can finish 20 laps in with a 2200. I'm confident of that. But you won't be fast though.
Yeah, well, that's my point. So did you pit stop at all?
Yes, I had to because I did not build an efficient quad. So I went with and GoPro was mandatory, so the quad just got heavier. I always race without any additional weight. I race bare minimum needed to get the quad airborne. So in this event, GoPro was mandatory, and I was like, I went in going, this is going to be just for fun because I knew people were getting serious about, doing a lot of thinking, strategizing, building a quad just for this event. So I went in with my highly overpowered race quad, 2650 kV motors, 5040 tri-props with a GoPro. So I did my practice runs. 10 laps was not a problem. Pretty much pushing it.
Right.
150 seconds was not a problem. So my strategy was one pit strategy. But there was, and as we were, the whole event lasted 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. pretty much. It was a 12-hour event, and through practice, I noticed that the pit stop was a make or break thing for the event.
Yeah,
it was all about the pit because the track was designed in such a fashion that anybody with a good amount of skill could finish a lap without crashing. It was not super technical. It was not a proximity track. It was a high-speed, wide-open track.
Right. That's
the whole idea. Which I love because I think that's how it's supposed to be. Because if you make a course an obstacle course, the speeds are going to go down, And there's nothing more exciting than watching 4 quads or 8 quads in the air ripping at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, which is awesome to watch. That's where the action is at. So yeah, my strategy was 10 laps, pit on the 11th lap, and get a new battery and finish the 20 laps.
Yeah. How was it? How did you guys determine who won and who didn't win? Was it just based off times essentially?
All 20 laps.
Okay.
From the starting to the end of the 20th lap, including your pit time, was your total time. So whoever had the fastest time won the race.
Was there guys out there trying to run a more efficient quad with a lower KV, with bigger props, and trying to run that realm where you're going to get a full 20 laps with one battery? Was there people doing that?
I saw people with 6-inch builds, efficient builds, bigger low torque motors, just enough to spin a 6-inch prop. But surprisingly, like I said, there's no, when you go to that setup, you don't get the speed that these high KV motors on 50-40 props generate. So you're going to slow down a lot. And here a lap is just 15 seconds.
Right.
So if your 6-inch setup is going to result in 20-second laps, forget it. Even if you don't pit, there's no way you can win.
Right.
Because every 3 laps, your partner is 1 lap faster at 15 seconds. So even with a pit, that person would beat you.
Right.
And I don't think there's unless you go 3,000 milliamps or more, you cannot build a 5-inch super fast quad that can finish 20 laps. So that was very smart on AGP to come up with those limitations. So almost everyone had to pit. I saw everyone pitting. I don't think I saw a single person finish 20 laps on a single battery. So we all had to pit.
That's what I was wondering. That's what I was saying earlier. Like that's why I said you have to pit because you're not going to be able to make a quad efficient enough to run that, or if you do, it's certainly not going to be racing spec. You know what I mean? It's going to be slow. It's just you can't push that power and get that to happen. It's just unless you're bringing a freaking DJI Phantom out there and you're getting 15 minutes of flight time, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and 2-minute lap time. So
yeah, exactly.
That was. Yeah, but it was the reason I like endurance race is because it's more than just balls to the wall flying and being done in 1 minute or 2 minutes or whatever. There's so much thinking that goes on, strategizing. You now have a pit member that you have to count on their performance, because if you mess up on the pit, you're done. No matter how fast or good of a pilot you are, and that's what happened. Let me tell you this story. So I got into top 16 with ease, right? And so now it was time to eliminate down to top 8. So we are all flying. There were, I think, 3 or 4 heats to water it down to top 8. And I'm doing very consistent. My key was to just stay consistent. People were going way too fast, I think, for their comfort level. There was a lot of crashes. I didn't crash a single time all day. Because my strategy was consistency. And on my round where I was trying to qualify into top 8, I came in for the pit. The strategy was same throughout the day. Pit on the 11th lap. I came in for the pit, and Francis Marasegan, my friend, was my pit member.
Yeah, Segenberg.
Who helped with the battery hot swap. And then I have my goggles on. I didn't remove anything because you got to be ready to go when he says ready. And I'm watching him struggling. The quad's upside down. It's a hot swap, by the way. So the other battery is plugged in when you put a new battery and then you plug out. So you see the whole thing in the video.
Yeah.
The quad's upside down. He's struggling with something, and I'm counting. I want to see how many laps I've lost in this pit, right?
Yeah.
So I just count 1, 2, 3, and it was slow. And I'm going, "Oh God, this is not good." He was struggling with something there. So then finally he says, "Go." It was a bad pit, and I finished the remaining 10 laps, and I don't have a good feeling about the whole thing. Luckily, I made it in the last spot, 8th spot, going into the next elimination round, which was the top 4.
Yeah.
So we changed strategy because I asked Francis, "What happened, man? You were just, you were struggling there." He got stuck on the Velcro strap, that straps around the battery.
Yeah.
He got stuck on that strap and he couldn't get it. When he took the battery out, the strap came out of the slot on the Bapu frame. So he was struggling getting it back into the strap because the nerves are going. It's a race. Or what have you. So he took a while to get it through. So what we decided is to get rid of the strap. So that was a game changer. That was a total game changer because now, of course, my frame has a Velcro on the bottom.
Yeah.
LiPo has a Velcro. So just let it stick with the Velcro.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that was a strategy we went with. And everybody was like, that's risky because one little nick or crash, you're done.
Right.
But I was like, that's the strategy. I'm not to crash because the competition was so high. I knew if I'm going to crash, I'm not going to get anywhere because there's damn good pilots out there.
Yeah.
So my plan was not to crash. So that's what we did. And guess what? When we were on the top 8, fighting for top 4, he had the fastest pit. I think it was like 7 seconds, dude. It was insane. The norm was like 20, 25 seconds. So all he had to do now is just plug that in, pull that out, just stuck and done.
Wow.
So there was no strapping at all. And guess what? That put me number 2.
Holy
spot.
Shit. Wow. And now...
And same thing, the top 4. And by that time, everybody knew my strategy, but nobody wanted to risk it because there were people crashing, recovering, and doing all that. But that's the risk I had to take because I knew pit would matter a lot in a win. And same thing in the top 4. Same thing, just Velcro, forget the strap. And I won first place by I was I think 20 seconds faster than second place.
Holy shit. Now, were you running the Velcro that I use? It's just normal Velcro. Were you using that one special, hard plasticky kind of Velcro that some guys use? Yeah,
the gay Velcro, which is male to male.
Okay, yeah. See, I haven't used that before, so maybe that's why you had more confidence in it sticking better because...
Oh, God, you got to use that, man. So for number 1, you just have to buy one kind of Velcro now. Instead of worrying about male and female, it's all male.
Right.
And the bond is extraordinary.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Dude. Yeah,
so it's all the hard hooky stuff, right?
Yeah. What's it called?
We call it gay Velcro because it's male on male.
Gay Velcro.
But
oh God.
I don't know what it's
gay
called.
Velcro. That's a good one.
I have a feeling that if I type that in on Google, I'm not going to find something.
No. Yeah, you're not going to find that.
All right, let's try it out. Let's see what happens when you type.
Oh dear God.
But Lowe's has it. Scotch makes it in big bundles. And dude, you won't go back to using anything else. That's awesome stuff.
Okay, so
we're still laughing at gay Velcro.
No.
So the first thing that pops up when you type in gay Velcro is an Urban Dictionary term. It's a slang. It began when it was noted that gay males tend to prefer the mustache-only look, which apparently only gay sausage-loving dudes and cops sport. That's what this says. When
Oh my god!
Oh, one day at lunch, it was noted that two dudes, both sporting mustache only look, were both wearing straw cowboy hats with frilly edges. Brilliant, buddy notes. Wow, those two must
Okay.
have some serious gay Velcro.
All right. So if I did the same thing on my phone and I hit images,
Oh shit! What'd you get? Oh, okay, you
a
just got-
rainbow wallet, a
that's not as
Velcro
bad.
rainbow wallet.
Rainbow. Oh wow!
Yeah, I got that too.
No, but you guys should try that. Serious. It's not cheap though. A roll, which is like that size.
Yeah.
It lasted me 6 months. It's like $30.
Well, I can't try it if I don't know the name of it. I can't try it. Because
Go and ask. Go to Lowe's and ask for gay Velcro and see what they say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that's going to work out too well.
Hey, on that endurance race that you're talking about, Bapu, Konasti just posted a video recently, and I reposted it, and I called it NASQuad. Did you see that one of Konasti? Canuto, you're saying yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
I don't know if you see
I
that,
did.
Bapu. Dude, that's a killer video. I mean, it's exactly like what you're talking about, and a lot of good comments on that. People were liking to watch it because it was more easy for the spectators and the people watching the video to understand it.
yeah. You didn't have multiple quads in the air,
And they just like it. They like this video.
yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, and there's more than just pilots with goggles on, just looking like geeks, trying to race, because you have a pit member and there's team, camaraderie going on, the yelling going on. Hey, there's so many other things going on, which makes it really appealing for, the audience or even for shows. I mean, people ask me for my opinion. I think that's where it's at. Like, the Thunderdome 500 in F3 Expo in Atlanta in the Georgia Dome. That was awesome. That race lasted about 40 minutes.
Whoa.
40 minutes. And you had 5 pilot team, and you could assign your pit crew, or most people, pilots just want to fly. So they were all taking turns. So the takeoff landing was like 50 yards away. So you could pit for one guy after a few batteries, run and take your radio, and this guy goes pit for you. Because it's a 40-minute race. First of 100 laps wins. And it's around a football field. It's a huge track.
How many how many pilots in the air at a time? Or how many, how did that work?
4.
Okay. So how
There
many
were 4 pilots,
were there?
4 pit stations.
So how many were there total? How many pilots total at the event?
There were I think there were like 12 teams, if I'm right.
Okay. So we didn't have.
But it was the teams had to pay $1,500 to take part in that event.
What?
Yeah, so it was like almost a corporate race. So only the big companies, Ready Made RC, which is my sponsor, was in there. Immersion RC was there. Detroit Multi-Rotor, just the big name guys. Because the fee to take part in the event was $1,500.
Get the fuck out of here, man!
Yeah, so you're me and my friends couldn't get that kind of money together to go race there.
No.
So not many people took part, and maybe that was also the intention, not to have 50 teams going and making it an all-day thing. It was just part of a day, and it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun being a part of the event, and we made it to top 4 there. It was from the my friend sat and watched. They said it was a lot of fun watching, and again that event, it came down to the pit. So we decided. I told my pilots, I was like, because unlike the velodrome, the Thunder 500, it was like no obstacles. It was pretty much 4 flags at the corner of the football fields. Just go around the flags. 0 obstacles. So there was no skill level required to fly the track. Nobody was crashing. There's not much you can do. So we decided, guys, let's have a pilot team and a pit team. And let the pit team stick to the pits and make sure the fastest pits happen, lipo after lipo. And that's how we're going to win. And sure enough, that race we won by we were done when our second place was on lap 89 or something. We were done with 100 laps. And it came down to the pit. Our pits, we averaged like 7 seconds a pit, where teams were taking 20, 30, 40 seconds a pit. Because, they're running back and trying to get back on the radio to fly. And I don't know. There's a lot of drama going on. We just kept it very simple.
Yeah.
Me and AJ Goin from RMRC said, we'll take care of the pit. You two pilots just take care of flying.
Yeah.
That's what we did.